Well, today we're on the Carson Pass, overlooking an area that the pioneers dubbed as the Devil's Ladder. We could find very little information on this area, so we spent a few weeks exploring it, and here's what we found. We'll show you the unknown pioneers' gravesite, names etched by the pioneers, rope marks from hauling the wagons up, and we'll go down into the meadow below and give you a look at what they looked at and knew that they had to pass over. Now to get here, take Highway 88 up to Carson Pass Station. It's a very busy area. You'll see lots of cars if you get there too late. But the next little road is Red Vista Road. It's not marked, but it's an overflow parking lot. Turn down there and go to the end of the parking lot and you will see the little placard explaining what our pioneers went through coming up this Devil's Ladder. About 1,000 feet below is Red Lake. It is at the base of what is known as the Devil's Ladder. Along the Carson Pass here, many of you have been on it before. I don't know if you can see it from the road, but from down below here, if you look up at the top of this granite, you see lines going down that don't look natural. So what that is when they were developing that road, those are drill holes that they would place the dynamite in to blow up that rock. So it looks like the immigrants would come through this gorge and then would head up to the top there. But this is just extremely steep and rugged. Here we're down, we got about halfway to Red Lake, and this is the trail that the wagons would pull up and go all the way up there. There's Red Lake, and the Immigrant Trail is coming up the side of it here. This is a very steep section, and if you look right here in this rock right here, you have a wagon wheel rut. Took a lot of wagons to grind that down. It's a small rut, but it's still evidence of what they were doing crossing these granite stones. The standard wheel of a wagon would be 1 1/8 inches wide. The ruts that we found would have been made by a standard wheel. They would progress up to 2 inches, and in California, where they would haul heavier loads, such as logs, they could go even wider than 2 inches. Going down Devil's Ladder, just keep an eye out for the tree markers to follow the trail. And remember, going down is a lot easier than coming up. It was definitely a hard pumper. And keep an eye out for the trees with the rope marks that they used to pull the wagons up. A staging area was set up at the base of the mountain. All goods were removed from the wagon and carried up the mountain on the backs of people. Using several yoke of oxen and putting a man at each wheel, the wagons were slowly moved up the mountain. Upon reaching the top, the oxen and men returned to the bottom to assist the next wagon. It has been said that there could be 200 wagons waiting to come up this mountain. Okay, we just finished coming up the Devil's Ladder, went through the parking lot, and we continued on up on the trail, and we came upon this, and it's kind of interesting. What's it say, Mitzi?
It's a marker that marks the first ascent to Carson Pass, and it is an entry taken out of the journal of Henry Sheldon Annable on September 10th, 1852. This is what he wrote. After dinner, we crossed the first mountain. The ascent is 1/2 mile and much like going up the side of a house in steepness. with huge stones in the road, aside the road, and all around the road. And just finishing climbing up Devil's Ladder, I think we can attest to that. It was and felt like climbing up the side of a house.
Now we're about to head up the trail here on Carson Pass, but I want to show you this writing by pioneers that we found along the Emigrant Trail on Highway 4. It is written in axle grease. That's what it looks like naturally. Now the ones that we're going to view up here on Carson Pass looked like this at one time, and then they started to fade, so they repainted them in white. So let's go up and look at them. Okay, so we're at the rocks now where the immigrants took a break here and they wrote their names and some little stories, I think, and dates on the rocks. And then who rewrote them in white? Because the immigrants did this in axle grease, which I showed you earlier in the video, but the axle grease on these rocks wore out because they're not protected. The one that we showed you on Highway 4 is a protected writing, so it's still in its natural state. Now the Wow Fellows did this?
The Odd Fellows.
Oh, okay.
Wow, odd, superb, spectacular.
Odd Fellows rewrote in white on these things, which is nice that they did that.
Oskins, August 24th, 1849. 1849 to 1949 would have been 100 years.
Uh-huh.
Now you think 1950 to 2000 is another 50 years. We're in 2020. That's over 170 years ago.
Wow. C.C. Hammer.
Not MC, but she.
That's a song, C.C. Hammer, isn't it?
And he wrote
Can't Touch This Thing, right? Oh. No, that was MC Hammer.
I wonder what WIS is. Is that just a name? An abbreviation?
Wisconsin?
Ah! CA, California. Oh, I think you're... What's KE? Did they try Kentucky?
Kentucky.
Kentucky is KY, the
Well,
abbreviation, but...
maybe they didn't know how to spell.
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue on. Okay, along the Immigrant Trail, here's another rock that says, Grave of the Unknown Pioneer. Looks like the Wow Boys, or what are they called?
Odd Fellows.
Odd Fellows. Redid it, maybe a long time ago, but it's hard to read. But the government came in and made a proper grave marking. And what's that say, Mitzi?
It says, The Unknown Pioneer, 1849. Here rests one whose name is known only to our Creator. He was one of a valiant cavalcade who brought honor and stability to the character of California. They had faith in God, faith in themselves, faith in their fellow men.
Okay, we lost the Immigrant Trail, so we're trying to re-find it. Found this like beautiful area. We're looking for gorges that they might have gone through. So we're gonna continue on. Okay, we got lost a couple times and decided to end that hike. So on the other side of Devil's Ladder, you'll notice there's an old road there. That's an old toll road. So we're gonna go check it out. Okay, we're on the opposite side of Carson Pass right now. We're looking at Carson Pass, the highway, and we're on the old wagon toll road. Now, Highway 88 to our left starts in Stockton and ends up in Nevada. From Antelope Springs to the border, this portion started as the Amador Nevada wagon route, which was a toll road that was completed in 1862, which was a major thoroughfare through the mountains as California sent timber, food, and particularly gold to the east during the Civil War. And as we all know, as we travel up Highway 88, we pass Cook Station and Ham Station. These were actually original old stations along the Amador and Nevada wagon road in the 1860s. Now let's go down to that little meadow and look at the Devil's Ladder and Carson Pass. To us, this is the most beautiful view of the Carson Pass. It is also the view that the pioneers saw before they had to ponder how they're going to get over these hills. We hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching. And just for fun, if you ever wondered what was on top of that big mountain, our next video will be of the Emigrant Trail on Highway 4.